Hey guys, what's up? Week 4, you crushed week 4. You did it. I know this week was hard. It was so hard for me too. I struggled a lot this week. I made chocolate chips and peanut muffins because my sweet tooth was going crazy and I had way too many carbs all week long. And it's okay. It happens. So we adjust, we learn, we figure out, this is why it's 12 weeks. I know I've said it a million times, but this is why it's 12 weeks so that we can learn what kind of lifestyle things we need to do together and how we can make this container system a part of our life and what adjustments we can make day to day and week to week. And so I want you to really evaluate this week. How did things go? What went well and what didn't go well? And how does that affect your overall ultimate 12-week goal? Do you remember what that ultimate 12-week goal is? Do you remember that? Because I have it written down. I have it written down for every single one of you. I have it. And so I want you to really go back to that and I want you to see, am I on track? I have 8 weeks left. 8 weeks, that's a ton of time to get done what you want to get done. So let's really evaluate, like, what happened in this first 4 weeks that was so good? And what do we need to adjust or continue with in these last 8 weeks to really get you to your ultimate goal and living this as a lifestyle? So many of you have made such great progress into making this an actual lifestyle. And I know that it can get frustrating and I know it can get hard if the scale isn't moving or if measurements aren't moving. But know that this is a long-term thing. After this challenge, if you want to continue, we have another 12-week challenge that rolls right into it. Like, you are done on a Sunday, the next challenge starts on a Monday, so you can roll right into the next challenge. It's totally up to you. But I want you to take the most of this opportunity because 8 weeks left. All of February, pretty much all of March. I forget like our very end date. But you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. So I haven't had a ton of questions and that's totally fine. I mean, most of you are totally crushing it right now. And if you do have any questions, I really want you to reach out to me. I would suggest making sure that you are doing a program that you're enjoying. That's really, really important. And if you're not doing a program you're enjoying, it's okay to stop. You don't have to finish every single program that you start. However, I don't want you to get into a habit of like continually cycling and not pushing through, if you have a workout that you don't like and be like, I don't think I like that one. I want you to at least try things for a week. And then if after that week you're like, I hate this and I don't want to do this, then let's change the program. That's the entire purpose of Beachbody On Demand, in my opinion. I love Beachbody On Demand for that very reason. And so I think that that's a really great route to go, to make sure that you're doing a program that you enjoy. Right now I'm doing this yoga series from the Beachbody, it's called Beachbody Yoga Studio. That's what I'm doing it from. And it has been so great. And then after this, I'm going to do Master Hammer and Chisel. So do you have a plan to continue moving forward with your workouts? Do you have the next workout set up? Do you have the next program set up? And how are you going to move forward from that? So I want you to evaluate that. I want you to also make sure that you're evaluating your container plan. If you finished your first program, I would highly encourage you to go up 1 calorie bracket. I know that can be really hard. My app accidentally messed up and put me up 2 calorie brackets, and I was like, dang, that was a big jump. And then I figured it out, and I was like, this is way too much. So we went back to the right calorie bracket. So make sure that you're in the right calorie bracket and eating enough food, because you don't have to stay on, like, the 21-day fix program. It's got a big calorie deficit. So going up a calorie bracket is going to keep you where you're at. And then you can always go back down like 2 or 3 weeks later to, get that baseline again, I guess. So that's pretty much all I have for you. I would suggest, I know a couple of you have asked some like form questions, which you guys know I'm not a personal trainer. I have learned form pretty much from doing all these programs for a really long time and paying a lot of attention to form. So I have mirrors in my basement. If you don't have mirrors, I would highly encourage you to take pictures. I use this app called Burst Mode. That's what I used to use to make sure that I had my form correct. But really, like, the main things that I want you to make sure that you're doing, if you're squatting, make sure that your knees are literally in line with your ankles. Don't let your knees track over your toes. Don't let them track out over your toes. Make sure that your knee is in line with your ankle. Like, squats are probably the thing that I see the most poor form on from people who just don't know what they're doing. I would highly suggest having somebody with you so that they can see if you're nervous about form. You can also Google. Google's a great resource if you want to know how to do a certain move that you're not really sure. I do that all the time. all the time. When I first started out, I was like Googling all these things to figure out what the right form was and then making sure that I had that form. There's always little tweaks and little adjustments as you get stronger and become more flexible. There's always different ways that you can do things. Make sure that you're modifying if you need to modify. Make sure that you're pushing through your comfort zone and really, really attacking your workouts hard. So I want this to be an awesome last 8 weeks. You guys have crushed the first 4. I would love for you to make sure you take your pictures, your progress pictures and measurements. And I would love to see what your first 4-week results were. If you lost any weight, if you gained any weight because you wanted to, or if you gained any weight just because, it's totally okay. If you don't take weight measurements, that's also okay. There's nothing wrong with not taking weight measurements. I think that the scale can get really, really into people's head, and I don't think that's really necessary. So making sure that you're taking progress pictures and measurements are super important. So I want to see like number of inches lost, if you do the scale, number of pounds lost in the first 4 weeks total, and number of inches lost, those kinds of things, so that we can just see how your progress was over the first 4 weeks and adjust for the next, week at a time through the next 8 weeks so that we can make sure that we hit your ultimate 12-week goal. So I know that was probably a lot. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me, and I cannot wait to see how you guys do this week, and I can't wait to see what your results have been from the first 4 weeks. I hope you have an awesome day.